Hi and welcome to video 2. Today we're going to be customizing our template. So we're going to be changing the fonts, changing some photos, and working with the background so that it's more like the site that we want. The first thing we're going to do is go through and delete everything that we're not using from this current cipher template before we start working on our other template. So as you can see, things are looking a bit different than what we've got going on over here. And back over to cipher. Okay. I'm kind of weird in the sense that I like to work from the bottom up a lot of the time. So let's do that. Keep it consistent. Okay, we're not using Google Maps because we're in Vancouver, BC, nowhere specific. People don't really need my address. However, if you have a shop or somewhere that you want people to come visit you, you can change that address and have a Google map there, but in my case, I don't need it. You'll also notice that I only have 3 of these on my site. So we're going to get rid of one of these. And I'm just using the backspace, like delete button on my keyboard. However, you can use this garbage can too if you need to. Keeping all of that. Gonna get rid of this text over here. So to highlight anything, just click on it. You want to highlight that text, highlight that text, highlight that text, highlight this whole column. Okay, so that's what I like about Wix, is it's just fairly straightforward. Just click on it. We'll use the garbage can this time to get rid of it. This whole strip, so this is a strip right here, starts right there, ends right there, and it houses basically components of your site. And the reason I build everything in strips is because when it comes to changing to a cell phone view, strips they're made so that when everything transfers over to a smaller screen, it just works better. It's easier if you do it this way, is what I'm trying to say. So this whole strip, we aren't going to go as far as having this, because this is a whole other, this is Wix Events, which is an app, and you can actually go in and buy tickets there, but we don't have enough time to go through that. So we're just going to get rid of this whole thing. If you want to explore that, maybe for your own site, that would be great. It's fairly straightforward, and you can find videos on the internet, just on YouTube, on how to program these. So the whole strip is highlighted. Well, make sure the whole strip is highlighted. And hit the garbage can and delete, and it's gone. Okay, so we're back to basics, and this is also going to so it's looking a little discombobulated, but we're gonna fix that up. Okay, this is our blank, kind of blank, not really blank slate. Now that we've deleted everything that we don't want, we've got some odd spacing going on. So just like weird extra empty spaces. Let's go through and sort those out so that we have a big empty space, so that everything flows nicer. So to move anything that you would like, this one back here, this is your page background. So this image runs throughout your entire page and it doesn't actually move, so you don't have to worry about it. These, your strips, move on top of that background. So once you highlight your strip, you'll notice this little pointy downy arrow. So this is called a handle, a drag handle, we're going to call it that. So you're going to grab it, and we're going to drag that entire strip up. And we're going to grab it again, drag it up, grab it again, and drag it just below this vector. That's the little vector art right there. Okay, let's see how that looks. Okay, go up just a little bit higher. Perfect. And you notice that this is a little bit larger than it needs to be. I'm going to show you a cool little trick for dragging things. So you see there's 3 elements right here: vector art, text, and then body text. If you were to drag one of these by itself, everything, the spacing that they've got set up is going to move. So you're going to lose it, you're going to have to figure it out again. You don't want to do that because I'm pretty sure a graphic designer put this together, so it's spaced out exactly the way that it needs to be. So in order to move all of them at the same time, what you can do is click anywhere on the screen. Well, that's not going to do it for me. Okay, we're going to try it a different way. So we're going to click our vector art. We're going to hit Command on our keyboard and click text as well. See how both of them are highlighted? And we're going to click Command again, or hold Command and click the other text. So now this is a group that you can move everything together. If you want to keep it that way forever, well, not forever and ever, you can ungroup them as well, but just hit Group Elements. So now this is a whole group. You don't have to move things one by one. If you try and move one of them, it moves the entire group together and keeps its formatting. So let's move that up. Instagram, good up there. And then we're going to make this smaller. So you notice the top one was the drag. This is stretch. So top is drag, bottom point is stretch. So stretch can mean make it bigger or make it smaller. So we're going to stretch it and make it smaller. While we're at it, let's take this group and say we want to have this centered in our strip. It's a little bit off kilter. If you highlight the group, head over here, align. So organize your elements vertically or horizontally. I'm going to click that. You can say align to the right. So we're going to say align to the center of the strip. Okay, and I just moved it just the tiniest bit up. Excellent. That one's spaced out fine. We're going to drag this up so you can see the background in the back there. But we don't want that peeking through, so we're going to drag this up and connect those two. Spacing is fine with that. And then we have this big empty space down here. And again, we're going to do the stretch, but we're going to shrink it. And we'll just make it about there. That looks good. We can change that later. So again, for these smaller ones, because this is kind of off kilter too now, I'm going to hit that, move it up a little bit. Okay, so the spacing looks about right. It looks about the same as what we have over here. Alright, now that we've done the spacing, we're going to change a little bit of the colors to go with our site. So they're kind of in the same family in terms of purples, a little bit of blue. All of these colors were meant to match the video and the photos. So let's go through and I will show you how to change the colors in this site. The first thing we're going to do is actually change the background so that we have something to work with here. So we're going to click Change Background, or you can hit this button over here, which is also the background. Let's go here. And we are going to upload a video. Upload media. Over here you can bring it in from Facebook, your Google Drive, Dropbox, all of these places where you can find the media. However, mine is on my computer. We're going to upload that. Alright, so the video has uploaded and you'll see it here. There are a couple of actions you can take over here. You can rename it, copy it, download it back onto your computer if you need to. So let's select that. I'm going to throw that in and say change background. Alright, so you can press play and it'll play the video for you. Another thing you can do is head over to preview and you'll see that the video will automatically play on its own. We still have a few more edits to do to get it to its final, what it's going to look like in the end, but it's in there. Now that the background has changed, we're going to go through and change the photos. So as you can see, we have two different photos, this one and this one that we're going to have to change out. This Instagram is actually just importing my Instagram pictures, and I'll show you how to set it so that your account just automatically brings your pictures in from Instagram. So let's go here, manage columns. We just want this single one. So you'll notice that if you click out and highlight the whole thing, you're going to highlight a strip. This over here, that is a column. So you can see for the whole white part, that's a column. And then this is a column as well. So we're going to select change column background. And we're going to select an image. So we're going to go to upload media, upload from my computer. I'm going to upload these photos. Okay, so I've uploaded my photos here. And any photo that you would like to use on your site, just upload your media. And we're going to select this one, change background. You'll see it'll load there in that column. That's the picture that we want. You can tell that it's a little bit, I had cut the other one a little bit smaller. So you can see it's a little offset, but that's fine. I kind of like how it looks centered like this. So we're going to leave it. And then we have one more photo down here that we're going to change. Select that column, change column background, image, and then come pick your photo out here, change background. So another thing I can show you is this button right beside settings here is your adjustment button. So if you click that, it'll take you to the photo studio. You can adjust your pictures by either cropping it, or you can add filters or overlays or text. I recommend you just come in and play around with your pictures in here. It's kind of like filters like on Instagram. So just come play around, see what you can do with your pictures. There's some neat stuff in there. So one thing you'll notice if we go into our other site here is that this photo is a lot darker. There's a black overlay on this photo actually. So we're going to change our photo over here to look like that one. And you'll notice that little black tab in the corner. It'll make sense when you hit settings. That's the color behind the image. So you see, we're going to lower the opacity on the actual image down to, we'll try 70. And there we go, the black showing through. We can actually change that if you wanted to have a different color showing through. There are your options there. Check. This image is a little bit darker, so we're going to go back and we're going to darken it a little bit more by lowering the opacity to 60. Okay, I am satisfied with that. We're getting closer. A couple more steps and then we're almost done. Alright, so next on the list, we are going to start changing our fonts. Some of these I actually really like, so we're just going to keep the same, like our body text. Some of them we're going to adjust a little bit, so you can see they're a little bit different in this site. And then we're going to go through and change the colors and start making sure all of the colors are matching. So let's start with this text right here. Clearly, I am not the Bay's premier concert spot, so we're going to change this. So we're going to highlight the font, go into fonts so you can change it. And this is Avenir, and the size that I had selected, where'd you go, is 40 with a 0.1 space. So when you're in here, changing your fonts, again, it's just like the photos and the video and everything, come in and play around with it. So this is heading 4, we've changed this to Avenir, is the font style. This is the size, so I've said size 40 is what this is going to be. You can either bold it, or not bold, you can't really tell with that. Italic, underline, just regular. This is where you change the color of the fonts. So we're going to stick with white though, just because we want to have a high contrast there. If you want it to be centered or left, just come in. There's some effects that you can apply if you wanted to. Not really a huge effects fan, so I'll leave that out. And this is the character spacing that's on my little list here. And I said that I wanted it to be 0.01 for this. So we're going to move this 0.05, 0.01. Does that look about right? Yes, that's exactly it. So we can do our little trick, our centering trick, which is over on the toolbar, the align button. We're going to hit center, align to center. Excellent. So there's one. So these are the same font. And there's a way to make this everything just end up with the same value. So this is now considered a theme. And if you see this heading 4 and you click Save Theme, your text theme heading 4 will be updated and it'll change everywhere it appears on your site. So we're going to say Save. And then we're going to come down here. We're going to write About. So the About section is just a little snippet of who you are. And this is heading 4. So if we do that, it's going to give you the same values, or the same kind of font that was up there. Still going to have to adjust character spacing to 0.1. And because it's on a white background, I'm just going to change this to black. Or I think I had gray in the other one. Change it to gray. Let's see how that looks. There we go. I'm not worrying about spacing or anything yet. We're going to come through and clean it up towards the end, so that's fine. So Instagram, we're going to have to change this. We're going to hit heading 4. Instagram is done. What else? Get in touch. And then those ones are smaller. So these stayed the same size and the same color, so that's fine. I do think, though, that that photo is a little bit darker, so we're going to change that in a second. Get in touch. I just wanted to personalize that a little bit because I'm not an S. just, yeah, feel free to personalize your site so that it sounds like your voice. I'm just going to go through here and add all the text that I have. So this is an old bio that I found online that I'm just going to copy and paste it into this text body. Double checking everything. I'm going to come down here and change these smaller blurbs about myself. You can just widen your text box if you find that they're doubling up like that. And an important tool is the undo button. Just up on your top right there, if you accidentally make a mistake and delete something or add something that's not supposed to be there, just go ahead and undo it. In the next video, we'll learn even more tools on how to customize our page.